So, I just briefly introduced that whole panel is going to be in English. So, hello everyone, I'm Joony from Block Raptors. Block Raptors is one of the main sponsors of Fiddle, and we accelerate and advise a lot of the blockchain projects to build up their businesses. At Block Raptors, I'm a director for global business, but I also look into a lot of the blockchain game projects. As I have about 13 years of gaming experience working at Comtours previously. So we'll start the panel. So hello everyone. Hi. Let's start with introducing. So can you briefly introduce about yourself?
My name is Devin Finzer. I am one of the co-founders and CEO of OpenSea, which is a marketplace for blockchain-based items, many of which are game items, such as CryptoKeys. So we allow users to buy and sell these items, sort of like eBay, but for digital assets.
Hello everyone, my name is Joony. 한국 이름은 이재균이고요. I'm CEO and co-founder of Biscuit. We are making fun blockchain game, and our first title is EOS Nights.
Hi, I'm Marguerite Corcel. I'm the CEO and founder of Blockade Games, and we're working on a mainstream title called Neon District. It's a cyberpunk RPG. Season 1 is launching in December, and it's got 30 hours of campaign play and procedural missions as well.
Hi, my name is Danbee. I'm head of marketing for Engine Korea. Engine is basically an all-in-one blockchain game development platform, and we're focusing on creating easy SDKs for game developers so that they can create blockchain games.
Hi everyone, my name is Gabby, Dizon. I run Altitude Games, which is a game developer out of the Philippines. We've been doing this for the last 5 years, and 2 years ago we started making blockchain games. And our first blockchain game, Battle Racers, is coming out very soon. Along the way, when we are researching blockchain games, we realized how hard it is for game developers to actually interact with blockchain. So we spun out a company called Auto to help game developers create blockchain games more easily. So yeah, I'm doing this too.
So it's one blockchain marketplace, 3 studios. One is a slash platform for blockchain, and Engine being the blockchain platform. So it's great having you all here. But I'm going to go with the first question because I think that's what the audience will be most interested in. So how do we differentiate blockchain games from traditional games that we know?
Okay, so I guess you can start with traditional games that almost everybody here plays. And the biggest difference is that when you play a game, you acquire assets, items, and there may even be some monetary value to them. But when you basically quit the game, delete your account, everything is gone. So the biggest difference with putting blockchain assets in your game is that these items are permanent. So you can think of them more like physical items, where if you have a blockchain item, they may be related to a game, but in itself, the item is permanent. You own it in your wallet forever, and there may be other uses for the item itself. It's like when you buy a sword, you can play with the sword, you can join a tournament with it, or you can play imaginary sword fight in your own home. You can do whatever you want with it because you own it. So it's the same with digital blockchain item.
I'd say that the idea that we're merging the collectible markets with the gaming market and how that adds speculation and ownership to these assets changes the psychology of how gamers think about their inventory. And additionally, the game studios, even with Gabby's company, we're having a lot of fun thinking about the interoperability of not only game assets, but also our communities, and how we're making a defensible ecosystem because of the potential of what's natural to blockchain.
I think also on top of that, I think blockchain games kind of allow, like for example, with Engine, we have this system where a blockchain game item can be used in game A and as well as in game B. So I think blockchain game is different from traditional games in the sense that there is no like a single game developer that owns it. It provides users more ownership and actually more expansive game design interaction for game developers.
Yeah, and just to add another thought on top of that, I think a lot of blockchain games blur the lines between gaming and real economies with real value. So an interesting one is called Decentraland, which is basically it's a virtual world where you can build games inside of it, you can own land, and that land has this thriving market, and it looks a lot like the physical real estate market on a much smaller scale. But, you know, you could imagine taking loans off of digital land, and there's now a much higher degree of liquidity for that digital land than we have in a traditional game. So I think we might start to see some really interesting phenomena emerge from these blockchain games that maybe looks a little bit different than a traditional game where gameplay is the main use case.
From my perspective, I think we see it a little bit simple. Actually, everyone already covered. As a studio, blockchain game studio, we think that there's a three major difference between the traditional game and the blockchain game. At the moment, we don't know the ultimate answer, but at the moment, we see that the biggest difference is the way of payment. That's the big difference. Second one is the ownership of the item, meaning the NFT. And third is the ownership of the data, which is the behavior of the users in the game, can be owned by the user. That's the major three big difference between the traditional game and the blockchain game.
Can you explain a little more on how those three things are different from the traditional games?
Yeah, payment is simple because some countries block it, but it does. Okay, I'm excluded about the government or the regulation, but the user can pay or buy some items or something, some material of the game through the Ethereum or Bitcoin or something like that. But without that, they should pay by fiat. There's a big difference. And the second difference is the NFT, meaning that some user can craft their item during they play the game. The ownership comes from the development team to the owner, meaning that they can get their item, their wallet, not the company's server. So that's the big difference. They are also same. So that's the thing.
I think also one thing about blockchain gaming is that you can have your inventory in your hand, in your pocket. So if you have your mobile blockchain wallet, you no longer have to find a PC cafe or a PC to log on to 3 different games and items. You have your inventory in your pocket, in your wallet, just go to cafes and an item. So that kind of streamlined process is also, I think, an attractive factor for blockchain gaming.
Something we were talking about earlier was how the promotional opportunities with the blockchain assets is a little different than traditional gaming today. So, like for example, you were talking about the engine beams, and like when someone receives a game asset, an NFT, across social media or email, and a few of our game studios are developing in a way where that's possible by their two solutions or our own platforms. But anyways, when you receive these assets, it's like a gift. I mean, people genuinely feel like, and so the brands such as, for example, I'm working with Loom Network, we made a Loom asset, and they distributed that to their entire email subscribers. They were so excited about these assets, and immediately they had value. So these people could then go to the OpenSea marketplace and put them up for sale if they wanted, or hold on to them because this is a special thing they received for being a part of the community, and that might have more sentimental value than selling it.
Based on that, like there are a lot of users that seem more interested in trading these NFTs rather than playing or owning them, and some will like more the users on the gamer sites will be more interested in holding on and collecting them. Like, do you see any differences between these users or user behaviors? Is there anything to explain about that?
So, in my opinion, I think that's natural because we're merging into that collectible market, the collectible space. If you go to a Comic-Con, people go and they hoard their favorite characters or something that they feel excited about and never unbox. So, if you have a game asset that's been used a lot and played with a lot, is that more valuable or less valuable than an asset asset that has never been used and someone's been holding since the first generation of that asset, similar to a Magic the Gathering trading card. So it'll be interesting because in some cases, if you have a social influencer take an asset and play with it, just